Don't you find it fascinating that America, the land of the high IQ, got all of these failing banks? You would think, with all the amount of high IQ people here, you would never see a bank failure ever because they got high IQs and know what to do. But as you can see, if your money is with high IQ people, just know it will never be safe. I'm going to let you listen to this video and I will be right back with my commentary.
Happens when there's a loss of confidence in the bank, and that leads to large withdrawals. The bank can't pay everyone who wants their money all at once, and it fails. During the Great Depression, thousands of banks failed, 9,000 to be exact, taking $7 billion worth of customers' assets with them. That's why the New Deal included laws to ensure deposits and boost confidence in financial institutions. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, was created in 1933 and today covers up to $250,000 per depositor at FDIC-insured banks. Actual bank failures still happen. There were a lot during the Great Financial Crisis in 2008, but in recent years, just a handful every year, and none in 2021 and 2022. That streak broke in March of 2023. Silicon Valley Bank, a prominent lender to tech startups, collapsed after questions about its liquidity started piling up. That caused customers to start withdrawing their money, essentially sparking a run on the bank. When SVB couldn't raise enough capital to cover customer demand, regulators stepped in and took control of the bank. The danger with a bank run is that panic can spread to other banks. It's called contagion.
Day one, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's $1 billion. That's where we're headed.
So what starts as a problem at a single bank can quickly turn into a crisis for the entire system. That's what happened during the Great Financial Crisis in 2008. And it's why the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, the second largest U.S. bank failure of all time, has Wall Street on it.
Okay, so the latest in the news is First Republic Bank has been downgraded. Downgraded so much it's considered junk status. So a lot of people that have deposits in this bank are now panicking. So now you're going to have, because of this downgrade that recently happened, you're going to have another bank run. Now, I have seen the First Republic banks around, but it was never one of those banks I was interested in putting my money in. So, I never even considered it. But I have seen these banks around. So, First Republic Bank's credit rating was downgraded on Wednesday by both Fitch Ratings and S&P Global Ratings on concerns that depositors could pull their cash despite the federal intervention. Finch also placed another regional bank, PacWest Bancorp, which is on a watch for potential credit rating downgrade of its own. Moves reflect continued worries about the banking system in the aftermath of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. We believe the risk of deposit outflows is elevated at First Republic despite actions by federal regulators, S&P wrote in its report. First Republic shares tumbled 16% to session lows on midday trading following the downgrades. Both credit rating firms pointed to the large amount of deposits at First Republic that are uninsured because they are above $250,000, which is the FDIC limit. The San Francisco based lender has a high concentration of deposits among wealthy clients in coastal markets in the United States, a characteristic that now is viewed as a rating weakness in today's environment. This not only drives a high proportion of uninsured deposits as a percentage of total deposits, but also results in deposits that can be less sticky in times of crisis or severe stress, Finch says. Finch believes this feature of the business model has a result in franchise erosion following high profile failures of SVB, Financial, and Signature Bank, despite the deposit base being more diversified from a sector industry standpoint. Yeah, I mean, this, even if they're not closing First Republic, the fact that they got such a major downgrade to junk status, this is not going to do anything for public confidence in these financial institutions. A lot of people are feeling leery, even not only these small banks, but even with big banks, you know, because a lot of these banks have, they will take your money if they feel they're in trouble, and they'll be within their legal right to do so. A lot of people don't understand the implications of what can happen if this eventually moved to your more major banks. And it has happened before. Back in 2008, you had Washington Mutual and you had the Lehman Brothers. And a lot of people remember that. And those were not small institutions right there. So, from a practical standpoint, credit downgrading can make it more expensive for banks to borrow. Both Finch and S&P warned that they could downgrade First Republic further. First Republic announced fresh funding from the Federal Reserve and JP Morgan Chase on Sunday, designed to strengthen its balance sheet. The funding means First Republic now has $70 billion in uninsured liquidity. Cash it can use to respond to potential customer withdrawals. First Republic's capital and liquidity positions are very strong. Its capital remains well above the regulatory threshold for well capitalized banks. This is according to Jim Herbert, First Republic founder and executive chair. Well, if you're the founder and executive chair, and of course you're going to say that about your own bank, you know, but you were downgraded for a reason. So the CEO, Mike Roffler, said in a statement on Sunday, Moody's Investor Service on Tuesday cut its outlook for the entire U.S. banking sector and placed 6 U.S. banks on review for potential credit rating downgrades, including First Republic. Now, it don't tell you what those other 5 banks are, but they're saying others could be facing the same kind of downgrade to junk status, just like First Republic. So, yeah, there's probably going to be a bank run on First Republic Bank for those that got their money in there. And, we already said this is going to keep happening, and it is. It is. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.